Delta State University, DSU, is a public university in Cleveland, Mississippi, in the Mississippi Delta. DSU is one of 8 publicly funded universities in the state. The school was established in 1924 by the state of Mississippi, using the facilities of the former Bolivar County Agricultural High School, which consisted of 3 buildings in Cleveland. On February 19, 1924, Senators William B. Roberts and Arthur Marshall co-sponsored Senate Bill No. 236, which established Delta State Teachers College, which Mississippi Governor Henry L. Whitfield signed on April 9, 1924. The bill had been sponsored in the Mississippi House of Representatives by Nellie Nugent Somerville, the first woman to serve in the Mississippi State Legislature. The 3 buildings were Hill Hall, an administration and classroom building, Hardy Hall, a men's dormitory, and Taylor Hall, a women's dormitory. On February 14, 1924, James Wesley Broome was appointed president of the college, and the college opened its doors on September 15, 1925. In May 1926, Broome died following complications from an ear infection. William Zagel was named his successor. The seal of the college was designed in 1928 as a project of an art class. World War II greatly affected the college. Anticipating the war in 1941, the college created a civilian pilot training program. When the war began, 254 Delta State students joined the armed forces. When the war ended, student enrollment at Delta State increased from 185 to 483, aided by the federal program for veterans known as the GI Bill to encourage education. During the 1947 session of the Delta Council, Dean Acheson, Undersecretary of State in Truman's administration, delivered a speech on campus that unveiled the Marshall Plan. He detailed plans for post-war relief and investment in Europe to help the nations recover from destruction. In 1955, the name Delta State Teachers College was changed to Delta State College. Delta State earned full accreditation from the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools in 1963. It developed graduate programs, which it opened for admission in 1965. Given graduate program and research development, in 1974 the state legislature authorized the college to be named as the current Delta State University. In 1965 Delta State initiated a graduate program, Master of Education in Elementary Education, Elementary Supervision, Guidance, English, History, Math, Music, Social Studies, Business Education, Physical Education, and Science. From 1925 to 1967 the university had a white-only race admission policy. 12 years after the U.S. Supreme Court decision in Brown v. Board of Education, 1954, ruling that racial segregation in public schools was unconstitutional, and 3 years after passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the state and administration ended racial segregation at DSU. Shirley Antoinette Washington was the first African-American student to enroll at DSU that year. Beginning in the 1980s, the university developed an aviation program, which continues. In 2005, Delta State assisted evacuees from Hurricane Katrina by opening Hugh White Hall as temporary housing. James Wesley Broome, 1925 to 1926. Dr. William Marion Kefley, 1926 to 1956. Dr. James Milton Ewing, 1956 to 1971. Dr. Aubrey Lucas, 1971 to 1975. Dr. Kent Wyatt, 1975 to 1999. Dr. David Potter, 1999 to 2002. Dr. John Thornell, 2002 to 2003, interim. Dr. John Hilpert, 2003 to 2013. William N. LaForge, 2013 present. Delta State University is located on 332 acres, 1.34 square kilometers, at 1003 West Sunflower Road, Highway 8 West, in the northwest area of Cleveland, MS 38733. About 30% of students reside in on-campus housing. Delta State provides both men's dormitories and women's dormitories, as well as apartments for married students. Most of the 64 buildings on campus use a particular brick pattern of yellow, orange, and white bricks. Particularly famous facilities at Delta State University are the large natatorium for holding swimming competitions, the Bologna Performing Arts Center, pictured left, with 2 theaters, one that seats 1,178, and another that seats 135, and the sound recording studios of the Delta Music Institute. Delta State has 2 mascots, one official, 1 Unofficial. Since its inception, Delta State sports teams have officially been known as the Statesmen because of the role State Representative Walter Sillars, Jr. played in the location of the school in Cleveland. Sillars was Speaker of the Mississippi House of Representatives for 20 years. The female teams are called the Lady Statesmen. However, since the late 1980s, the student body has embraced a mascot that depicts a piece of okra wearing boxing gloves and brandishing a fierce expression. Though Fighting Okra grew out of humor among students about the improbability that anyone would find a statesman particularly frightening. In the mid-1990s, a student vote was taken, resulting in the university taking on the Fighting Okra as an unofficial mascot. Though Fighting Okra was featured in the Okraphobia episode of the Food Network show Good Eats, the popularity of the Fighting Okra grew so much that many myths started on how the mascot came to be, the most popular of these stating there was a stubborn okra plant at first base on the baseball field that grew back every time it was cut. The true origin of the Fighting Okra mascot was a discussion between basketball and baseball players in the Court of Governors dormitory. The Statesman mascot was temporarily prohibited from participating in athletic activities after a physical altercation with the Mississippi College's Choctaw mascot at a basketball game. Basketball player Houston Williamson was lamenting the fact that Fighting Statesman was not particularly frightening to their opponents. All present agreed that an alternative mascot would have to be mean and green. After a lively discussion and many suggestions, baseball pitcher Bob Black suggested that okra was green, fuzzy, and tough. The DSU baseball team began using the chant okra, 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 okra at DSU basketball games. Delta State provides an undergraduate curriculum, offering 12 baccalaureate degrees in 42 majors. The university also advances student training through certain fields by providing graduate programs of study for 8 master's degrees, the Education Specialist degree, and the Doctor of Education degree. College of Arts and Sciences, College of Business, College of Education, School of Nursing. The Delta State University Department of Athletics sponsors 13 intercollegiate sports, competing at the NCAA Division II level. DSU is affiliated with the Gulf South Conference and New South Intercollegiate Swim Conference. The institution competes intercollegiately in men's American football, basketball, baseball, swimming, diving, tennis, soccer, and golf. The women's intercollegiate program consists of basketball, tennis, fast-pitch softball, cross-country, swimming, soccer, cheerleading, and diving. One of Delta State's most notable sports coaches was Lily Margaret Wade, 1912 to 1995. Wade played on the basketball team for Delta State, but the school dropped the sport when she was 19. The school claimed the sport was too strenuous for young ladies. Wade responded, "We cried and burned our uniforms, but there was nothing else we could do." Basketball was revived in 1973, and Wade was asked to coach the team. She coached the women's basketball team to 3 consecutive AIAW national championships and a 93-4 record, including a 51-game winning streak, at the time, the longest winning streak in women's college basketball. Wade was elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame in 1985. Today, the Division I Women's Basketball Player of the Year receives the Margaret Wade Trophy. Lloyd Clark, a native of Drew, took over the women's basketball program in 1983. Over the next 19 years he compiled a staggering 494-98 record. In addition, Clark's teams won 3 NCAA Women's Division II basketball championships. During those years, DSU played in the NCAA tournament 16 times, with 11 appearances in the Elite Eight. Clark's 1988-89 team became the first NCAA team to win a national championship on its home floor. During his career, Clark compiled a record of 206-38.845 in Gulf South Conference games. Lloyd Clark is a member of the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame along with other DSU heroes Margaret Wade, Lucia Harris Stewart, and former Boston Red Sox pitcher Dave Boo Ferris. Ferris coached the baseball program for nearly 30 years and led them to 3 appearances in the NCAA Division II College World Series before retiring in 1988. Boo was born in Shaw, Mississippi. San Francisco Giants catcher Eli Whiteside played baseball for the university, as did Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Brent Leach. Matt Miller of the Cleveland Indians also played for the Statesmen. One notable would-be baseball player and student who was cut during tryouts was writer John Grisham. In 2008, Grisham returned to the campus to join Ferris in an evening of baseball tales, raising more than $100,000 for the athletic program. Delta State alumnus Jeremy Richardson was an NBA player. Delta State won the 2004 NCAA Division II National Baseball Championship. Coach Mike Kinnison has guided the Statesmen to the 2004 NCAA National Title, 4 College World Series appearances, 9 NCAA South Regional appearances, 1999 to 2005, 2007, 2008, 11 GSC West Division titles, 1997 to 2005, 2007, 2008, 3 NCAA South Regional Championships, and 4 Gulf South Conference titles. Delta State won the 2000 NCAA Division II National Football Championship. Delta State's football team won the Gulf South Conference Championship in 1998, 2000, 2007, 2008, 2010, 2011, and 2014. They were runner-up in the D2 National Championship in 2010. They were put out in the 4th round of the playoffs in 2011. Delta State has a fairly large flight school and is also the only university in Mississippi to offer a degree in commercial aviation. Gibson Gun Building. Flight Instruction Building. As of April 2015, the DSU fleet of 19 aircraft consists of the following: 5 Cessna 152, 5 Cessna 172P, 5 Cessna 172R, 1 Cessna U-206G, 3 Diamond DA-42L360. DSU Flight Operations has 2 large hangars located at Cleveland Municipal Airport in the Gibson Gun Commercial Aviation Building on the Delta State campus. There are 6 student residence halls on campus, 3 house women, 2 house men, and 1 is co-ed. Women's: Lawler Harkins, Cleveland. Brumby Castle Men's. Kane Tatum Hall. Blancett Hall co-ed. Foundation Hall. All residence halls are suite-style rooms with bathrooms shared amongst 4 or 6 people. The rooms vary by size. All rooms have beds, desks, chairs, closets, and a chest of drawers. Bathrooms all have toilet, shower/tub, some only have shower stall, sink, mirror, and cabinet/storage. All rooms have window blinds, security doors, 50+ free cable channels along with Ethernet and wireless internet access. Foundation Hall, Brumby Castle, and Cleveland Hall have carpet, the rest have tiled floors. Exceptions: Foundation Hall has private beds shared only between 2 people. Also has lockable closets that open with room key. Every residence hall resident also has unlimited, free use of commercial laundry facilities. Even though Delta State University has relatively few fraternities and sororities on campus, many students participate in Greek life. Originally, Delta State had only local organizations, such as Delta Alpha Omega or the Cavaliers, which existed until the mid-1960s, when their members joined Kappa Alpha Order and Pi Kappa Alpha respectively. However, the first national social fraternity to charter at Delta State was Phi Mu Alpha Sinfonia, in 1960. Within the decade, several other chapters of national Greek letter organizations chartered at Delta State. They are governed by 2 independent councils, the Interfraternity Council and the Pan-Hellenic Council. The Interfraternity Council is a university-specific governing body that governs 4 active fraternity chapters, 3 of which are nationally members of the North American Interfraternity Conference. The fraternities within the council are as follows: Pi Kappa Alpha, Zeta Beta Chapter, 1963. Kappa Alpha Order, Delta Beta Chapter, 1964. Kappa Sigma, Lambda Pi Chapter, 1975. Sigma Alpha Epsilon, Delta Sigma Chapter, 2012. The Delta State National Pan-Hellenic Council governs the chapters represented in the National Pan-Hellenic Council. Alpha Kappa Alpha, Nu Gamma Chapter, 1978, the first and the finest. Alpha Phi Alpha, Omicron Psi Chapter, Swab House, 1983. Delta Sigma Theta, Kappa Pi Chapter, September 22, 1973. Kappa Alpha Psi, Nu Eta Chapter, P.O.D.C. Omega Psi Phi, Upsilon Delta Delta. Phi Beta Sigma, the Untouchable Xi Beta Chapter, 1982. Zeta Phi Beta, the Ph Nominal Psi Kappa Chapter, April 8, 1981. The Delta State Panhellenic Council is a governing body that governs 3 sorority chapters. Delta Delta Delta, Phi Phi Chapter, 1962. Kappa Delta, Gamma Psi Chapter, 1962. Phi Mu, Kappa Epsilon Chapter, 1966. Zeta Tau Alpha, inactive. Alpha Eta Rho, Professional Aviation Fraternity. Alpha Psi Omega, Theater Honor Society, Zeta Epsilon Chapter, founded 1935, inactive. Kappa Pi, Art Honor Society, DSU is home to Kappa Pi National President Ron Kohler. Mu Phi Epsilon, Professional Music Fraternity, Gamma Zeta Chapter. Omicron Delta Kappa, Leadership Society. Phi Alpha, Social Work Honor Society. Pi Kappa Lambda, Music Honor Society. David Abney, Chairman and CEO of UPS. Steve Azar, country musician. Jack Gregory, American football player, 2-time Pro Bowler for the New York Giants and the Cleveland Browns. Mark Hudspeth, head football coach of Austin Peay Governors football. Jeanette W. Hyde, Bill Clinton's U.S. ambassador to Barbados, Dominica, and St. Lucia from 1994 to 1998, and to Antigua, Grenada, St. Vincent, and St. Kitts and Nevis from 1995 to 1998. Aubrey Matthews, former NFL wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, Green Bay Packers, Detroit Lions, and Jacksonville Bulls of the United States Football League. Charlotte P. Morris, M.A., interim president of Tuskegee University, 2010, 2017 to 2018. Scott Nagy, head coach for the Wright State Raiders men's basketball team. Roman Nathaniel House, mid-20th century artist. Viola B. Sanders, 6th Director of Women in the United States Navy. Chase Sherman, professional mixed martial artist, current UFC heavyweight. Elijah Whiteside, 2-time World Series champion, and current coach for the San Francisco Giants.